Hello, my friends. This is Dr. Dan Gubler, Chief Science Officer of Unicity International, here today to talk about our Unicity Cleanse product, an amazingly powerful product to help support and promote human metabolic health. We feel impressed to talk about this product because it seems as we travel around the world and as I travel around the world and talk to people, this is a product that we don't understand exactly the power of this product. So today we're going to explain how this product works and how powerful it is to support and promote human metabolic health, how you can use it in your business, especially at the beginning of the year where we can really help people to get on the right foot. So let's get started here. Just a few reminders. What type of company is Unicity? We are a blue ocean innovative science-based company. When you join hands with Unicity, you can be assured that we will give you the most innovative, best products on the planet. Products that cannot be found anywhere else. You can't find these products at the grocery store, at the supermarket, at the convenience store. You can't find these products with any of our competitors. Blue ocean, innovative, unique, patented, exclusive products. We are a genome-ceutical company. We're the world's only genome-ceutical company, a company that uses unique proprietary ingredients that can help maintain expression of the genes, the chemical switches in the body that control all of the reactions that go on in the human organism. We are a human metabolic health company, and we are the world leaders in the science of metabolic health. Now, just to help us a little bit, what does metabolism mean? Well, metabolism refers to the millions of chemical reactions the human body performs every single second. Reactions involved in circulation, digestion, gut health, bone health, joint health, liver health, kidney health, cognitive function, heart health, cholesterol control, glucose control, and many, many, many other facets. All of these reactions that fuel these processes are known as the metabolism. So here at Unicity Science, we develop the best products on the planet to support human metabolism from a variety, a myriad of different angles. And why is this important? Because there is a breakdown in human metabolic health that's happening worldwide. This breakdown has been given a name. It's known as metabolic syndrome. Scientists have talked for a long time, and we've finally come to a consensus of what metabolic syndrome is. The criteria for metabolic syndrome is listed here. Criteria number 1, elevated waist circumference. 2, high triglycerides. 3, low HDL. 4, high blood pressure. And 5, high blood glucose levels. And if you have 3 of those 5, you have metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is a pernicious plague sweeping the earth. Levels of metabolic syndrome are 30% and rising quickly here in the United States. In Canada, it's 30% and rising quickly. In the Caribbean, it's 40% rising quickly. In other parts of the world, like the Middle East, huge problem, 50% and rising. India, 50% and rising. Southeast Asia, 25 to 35% depending on the country and rising fast. So this is a storm. This is a storm, a perfect storm, fueled by poor diet, lack of sleep, lack of exercise, and poor gut health. And that's the point that we want to make today. If we want to maintain a healthy metabolism, that starts in the gut. We need to support gut health. So let's talk a little bit about the gut, because this is new science. It's only been around for about 5 to 7 years. And there's a term that we have here on this slide that you might not know what it means. And let's talk about this. The term is microbiome. Remember that term. What microbiome means is it refers to the millions of bacterial cells that live on our skin, in our intestines, our gut, and colon. This collection of bacteria is referred to as a microbiome. And I love this quote by Michael Spector, saying that we're inhabited by 10,000 bacterial species. They outnumber human cells 10 to 1. We have 1 trillion human cells, and we have 10 trillion, at least, bacterial cells. If you combine all these bacterial cells together, it's the same weight as the human brain. Think about that. Scientists have called the microbiome the second brain. So what we've figured out the last few years as scientists is that we are a living ecosystem inhabited by millions of bacteria that help to support human metabolic health. They help in many different functions, which we'll talk about. So the microbiome, the bacteria, are populated when we're born, when the baby is in the mother's womb. It's starting to collect bacteria from the mother based on the mother's diet, sleep, exercise, supplementation, and other parameters. When the baby is born through the birth canal, the baby is infused with bacteria from the mother that gets into the eyes, nose, and mouth and gets into the digestive tract and starts to populate. This microbiome continues to develop. The number of bacteria stabilizes at about age 8. But when the baby is learning and growing, one thing that we found that's interesting, why do babies suck on things all the time, right? When you have a young child, they're always sucking on everything. They're eating dirt. Everything that they grab, they put in their mouths. And we're starting to figure out that this is an evolutionary reaction so that we can start to populate our microbiome and to get good species of bacteria in the body that can help support health. So we have good bacteria, but there's also bad bacteria that can populate and live in our digestive tract. And so what we have here is there is a war going on between good and bad bacteria. Now in our digestive tract, we have a finite amount of surface area. And so if populations or levels of good bacteria are increasing, then levels of bad bacteria must be decreasing, and vice versa. If levels of bad bacteria are increasing, good bacteria must be going down. The important thing that we found, though, is diet, poor diet. So if we eat a diet rich in fiber and protein and low in carbohydrates, that increases and encourages growth of good bacteria. Conversely, when we eat a diet rich in sugars and carbohydrates, that encourages growth of bad bacteria. And so it's really amazing when people talk about having cravings for junk food and whatnot. Scientists are now starting to publish papers showing that our preference for the type of food that we want, whether it's these cravings for sweet, sugary food, is based on our microbiome population. So Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, Greek philosopher and medical doctor, was one of the first ones to coin what he called the gut-brain axis. And this was basically the idea that the stomach, the gut, our intestinal tract could communicate with the brain. That was laughed at. That was thought as crazy and preposterous, all the way up even as short as 5 or 10 years ago. Now, with research coming out on the microbiome the last 5 years, we know that the gut-brain axis is real. It exists. There are bacteria, good bacteria, living in our gut that produce neurotransmitters and cytokines and hormones and other small molecules that go to the brain and help to fuel the brain and help to control all the processes in the body. So in English, we have the phrase, well, go with your gut, right? Just go with your gut feeling. Well, that actually might be more true than we realize. The gut, hugely important for human health. So as I mentioned before, the human microbiome or the gut is also known as the second brain due to its importance in human health. The thing that we need to understand about the microbiome, these bacteria, is it's a living, dynamic, changing ecosystem that turns over every 3 to 4 days. Isn't that amazing? You have brand new bacteria every 3 to 4 days. And so what we do can significantly influence our microbiome in as little as 3 to 4 days and significantly change gut health. And a lot of us have probably seen that, where maybe we're traveling or we're on a business trip or something like that, and we don't eat as good as we should, and we don't maybe sleep as well, and certain other factors, and we can see that our health has changed in as little as a couple of days. That is because the microbiome in the gut, the collection of bacteria, is changing. All right, let's talk about microbiome and metabolic health, specifically obesity. One of the most exciting experiments that was ran a few years ago was they had identical mice. These mice were bred so that they had the same genome. The DNA sequence, everything was exactly the same. And what they found is that they fed one group of mice a high sugar, high carbohydrate diet, where they fed the other group of mice a high protein, healthy fat, low carbohydrate diet. And they saw that these high carbohydrate diet mice became obese. When they studied the microbiome, the collection of bacteria in these mice, they found that the obese mice had large amounts of unhealthy bad bacteria living in their gut, while the healthy mice predominantly had good bacteria living in their gut. That was interesting. That helped to lay this whole field foundation of microbiome. But what they did next was fascinating. They decided to switch the microbiomes. They took the gut bacteria from the obese mice and put it into the lean mice. And they took the gut bacteria from the lean mice and put it into the obese mice. And what they found was that the obese mice became lean and the lean mice became obese in a very short time period, 2 weeks. Isn't that amazing? The only difference was this microbiome. Diet was kept the same. Obese mice are actually eating less calories than the lean mice. And yet they were gaining weight, they were obese because their microbiome, the gut bacteria, was out of balance. The same thing, this same experiment was performed in humans. And this is a picture of one of the pairs of identical twins that participated in this experiment that was published in the journal Nature. They took 100 identical twins, and again, genome, everything the same, on 2 different diets. And you had lean and obese twins. They screened and found 100 sets of lean and obese twins. And then they did this microbiome experiment. They switched microbiomes. And the way that they did that here is through a fecal transplant. Fecal microbial transplant, FMT. So they switched the microbiomes and they saw the same results as in the mice experiment. The lean twin became obese, started rapidly gaining weight, and the obese twin started losing weight, losing 30, 40, 50 pounds in 1 to 2 weeks, while keeping diet the same. Again, the microbiome, the bacteria, hugely important for weight management, metabolic health. And this is this paper from Nature, published in 2009, if you want to read it. A great read, great paper. So, how does the microbiome influence other areas of health? Well, microbiome has a huge impact on immune health. The collection of gut bacteria that we have in our body significantly helps to drive the immune system. The microbiome helps with cholesterol support. There are good species of bacteria that produce compounds that help to support healthy cholesterol levels in the body. There are bacteria that help to support healthy blood glucose levels in the body. These bacteria secrete compounds that make cells more insulin sensitive and help to uptake glucose into the human cells. Good bacteria play a huge role in the inflammatory response. They actually produce anti-inflammatory compounds called cytokines that help to maintain healthy inflammation in the body. Microbiome, as mentioned before, good bacteria produce neurotransmitters, dopamine, serotonin, GABA, and other compounds that travel to the brain and help in maintaining mood and overall health. There's a lot of interesting papers being published on the link between the microbiome, the gut bacteria, and depression, depressive disorders, and things like schizophrenia, mania, and bipolar. An amazing field where new research, new papers literally coming out every week on this. Microbiome, good bacteria, has been shown to be beneficial for sport performance. Elite athletes, when their microbiome are analyzed, they have different composition of bacteria, and they have different types of bacteria that are not found in normal people that are not elite athletes. So the gut bacteria, the microbiome, influences all aspects of health. There's one really interesting theory about how we age, and this theory suggests that one of the reasons that we could age is that our microbiome, the gut bacteria, become less diverse and rich in bad bacteria the older we get. And in people that live over 100 years old, centenarians, what we found is that they have species of bacteria, one species called Bifidobacterium longum, that's not found in people that live 60, 70, 80 years old. So hugely important. We're learning more about the microbiome. But we know that the microbiome gut health is critical for human metabolic health. Let's talk quickly now about factors that destroy gut health. And these are the classic lifestyle factors. We've talked about the modern processed diet. The modern processed diet is rich in carbohydrates. It's low in protein. It's rich in unhealthy saturated fats. It's low in healthy fats. The modern processed diet is devoid of secondary metabolites, natural products from plants that can help maintain and support human metabolic health. And a simple way to think about this, good bacteria like to eat fiber. They like to eat protein. This modern diet does not have fiber and protein. Bad bacteria, conversely, they like to eat saturated fats. They like to eat sugars. They love sugar. And so when we're feeding our gut this type of diet, levels of bad bacteria that produce inflammatory compounds and other compounds that destroy metabolic health skyrocket in the gut. Antibiotic use. Antibiotics are good. Not all bacteria is good, obviously, so at certain points in time we want to kill bad bacteria that have gotten out of control. The problem, though, is overuse of antibiotics. Look at this figure here. This is an amazing figure. Now, correlation does not equal causation, obviously, but there is a striking similarity between the obesity rates in the United States and the amount of antibiotic prescriptions written. Big correlation here. When we take antibiotics, it kills everything. So when we take an antibiotic, we're actually killing the good bacteria in our gut. And when we take antibiotics constantly, chronically, this can result in poor gut health and overall poor metabolic health. Pollution. There are compounds like polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons and benzopyrenes and other pollutant molecules that can destroy levels of good bacteria in the gut. Stress. When we're stressed, we produce a stress hormone called cortisol. Cortisol goes into the gut, and cortisol is toxic to good bacteria. Parasites. Parasites kill good bacteria. They feast on bad bacteria. And so they throw the whole gut microbiome, the ecosystem, out of balance. And they destroy metabolic health. Lack of sleep. Many studies have been done recently showing that when we have poor sleep habits and we don't get enough sleep, it damages the population of good bacteria in our gut. So, what do? We look at these lifestyle factors and we all are exposed to these factors and we all are victims of these factors, right? We all don't eat as good as we should. Another factor is exercise. We need to exercise more, and most of us don't exercise like we should. Don't eat like we should. We're stressed, right? That's just a fact of life with our high pressure jobs. We don't sleep as well because we're stressed, and so all of these can damage amounts of good bacteria in our gut. So we need a reset button. We need to be able to cleanse the microbiome, to just have a fresh start, to clean things out. Like a house, if we have a home and the walls are good, the foundation is good, but inside is outdated and run down, we need to just be able to completely remodel that house. Throw everything out, take the cabinets down, pull the carpet out, pull off the drywall, and build anew. And that, my friends, is what our amazing Unicity Cleanse product does, our flagship product. It helps to, as the name implies, cleanse the microbiome. It pushes out bad bacteria and good bacteria, but it pushes it out and it provides a clean slate, a fresh start where we can build anew this vital, healthy gut ecosystem. And so we're going to talk about how Cleanse works and what it does. And really, if we want to restart and rebuild a good microbiome, there's 3 steps. The first is we need to push out bacteria, both the good and bad bacteria. And the way that we do that is through inducing intestinal contractions. We need to induce a laxative effect. And when we induce this laxative effect, we push out bacteria. And we want to push out bacteria for a short period of time. Now, during this short period of time, we're pushing out good and bad bacteria. We're pushing everything out. And that is what our Nature's Tea product does. So it pushes out bacteria, good and bad. Nature's Tea and our aloe vera product, both of them have this laxative effect to push out bacteria. Step number 2, we need to get rid of parasites. Parasites can stay in our system, and we'll talk more about that, and that's where Paraway Plus comes in. Now, after those 2 steps, we now have our clean slate. Okay, we've torn everything out of the house, and now we're ready to build it anew. And that's where Life Fiber comes in. It is a good bacteria superfood. We can, by using Life Fiber, selectively encourage growth of good bacteria and keep growth of bad bacteria at bay. So let's talk about these a little bit more. Nature's Tea. So this is our laxative product. This pushes out good and bad bacteria for short periods of time. The key ingredients that do this are what we call anthraquinone glycosides. The structure there is on the bottom right if you're interested and love structures like I do. These compounds go into the intestinal cells and they cause contractions. So they cause this laxative effect. So anthraquinone glycosides in senna, they do this. Buckthorn bark contains anthraquinones. It also causes a laxative effect. We also have uva ursi, which contains a compound called arbutin, which is a wonderful antibacterial compound, especially known to kill many species of bad bacteria. So we have these laxative and antibacterial ingredients, as well as ingredients that help to soothe the intestinal lining, like peppermint leaf. Peppermint leaf helps to soothe the intestines. It helps those people, there's great literature with peppermint leaf with those people who have irritable bowel syndrome. And peppermint leaf also functions as an adjuvant, which means it makes all the other ingredients in Nature's Tea more effective. So that's Nature's Tea. Now we have another amazing cleanse laxative product, and that's our Unissi aloe vera capsules. This product, the mode of action is the same as Nature's Tea. It contains aloe vera. Now in the aloe vera plant that I've shown here, there's 2 components. There's the gel, and there's the latex. The gel is the stuff that you put on when you get sunburned, and it's a clear gel. The latex is this white milky sap. If you've ever taken an aloe vera plant and you cut one of the leaves, one of the stems, it'll start leaking this white sap, and that's the latex. And in the latex of the aloe vera plant, you have these anthraquinone glycosides, similar to those found in senna and buckthorn. And one of these compounds is called aloin. So aloe vera has the same laxative effect and properties as Nature's Tea. So same function to push everything out, good and bad. It's important to note with these 2 products that these are not long-term use products. We should use these products, Nature's Tea or aloe vera, for no more than 30 consecutive days, and we should wait at least 30 days before using. And the reason being is we need to build a healthy gut ecosystem, healthy bacteria in our gut. And we cannot do that if we continually have a laxative effect and the body's continually pushing out bacteria. So we want this laxative effect to happen for a short period of time, but not all the time. So that's why use for no longer than 30 days and wait at least 30 days before using again. The recommendation from Unissi Science for using these short-term products is quarterly, to do it a few times a year to help restart, reset, and maintain gut health. So we've talked about parasites. Parasites absolutely destroy gut health, and they destroy all areas of metabolic health, but they do so by killing good bacteria. So what do? Because parasites are tricky. They're tricky buggers. When parasites are in our system, they swim in our intestinal linings. They can feel these contractions coming on. And when they feel these contractions coming on, they hold on to the intestinal lining. As you see from this picture, they have very sharp teeth. They can embed these teeth in our intestinal lining, and they resist being flushed out. So that's why we need our Paraway Plus product. Before talking about Paraway Plus and its details, let's talk about parasite prevalence. You can see parasites, it's a huge deal worldwide. Their prevalence is very, very high in many countries. Now, you see here in the Americas, parasite prevalence is quite low, non-endemic, although there's still many problems with parasites. In the food that we eat, there can be parasites. In the water that we drink, depending on where we go, there can be parasites. There's parasites living in the soil and on the ground. So walking around barefoot, there's certain types of parasites that can drill through the hard, callous soles of our feet and get into our system and cause problems. So just because you might live in a certain area of the world, you think you're safe from parasites, is a wrong, false assumption. And so that's why we all need to take Paraway Plus, and you take this at the same time that you take Nature's Tea or aloe vera. Quickly, Nature's Tea, you steep that for about 5 minutes and you drink that in the evening before going to sleep. Aloe vera, same thing. You could take aloe vera, any of these you could take any time of the day, but we recommend, due to the laxative properties, to take these in the evening. Paraway Plus, you could take this any time of the day. Usually we recommend taking it in the morning. You start taking 2 capsules for the first 10 days, and then you ramp up to 5 capsules for the remaining 20 days. Month supply of this product. Contained in Paraway Plus, we have black walnut hull powder. Black walnut contains an antiparasitic compound called juglone. We also have pumpkin seed, which contains natural products called curcubitins, which have anti-parasitic properties. We have isovitexin in fenugreek that also has anti-parasitic properties. So when you take Paraway Plus, what happens is the parasites are either killed or they're immobilized. So that now, when you take Nature's Tea or aloe vera and you have these this laxative effect, these intestinal contractions that push things out, the parasites now, being dead or immobilized, come out with the good and bad bacteria that we're pushing out. So now we get rid of parasites. Paraway Plus has the same safety admonition as Nature's Tea and aloe vera. Not for long-term use. Do not take for more than 30 consecutive days and wait at least 30 days before using again. Okay, so now we want to build anew. We want a good bacteria superfood, and that's Life Fiber. Life Fiber you can take any time of the day. Life Fiber is an everyday use product. Let me say that again. Life Fiber should be taken every day for the rest of your life. It's your good bacteria superfood, your good bacteria insurance product. It contains psyllium husk fiber that helps to support overall gut health. Now, Life Fiber can be taken by itself. It can be mixed with many of our products, pretty much any of our products. It's a great mix with Complete. I take Life Fiber and Complete, our Vanilla Complete, every morning. Tastes delicious, great combination. So psyllium husk fiber. Type of soluble fiber, contains soluble and insoluble fiber, uronic acids. Psyllium husk forms this viscous gel in the stomach. It helps with intestinal regularity. It helps with diarrhea by slowing transit time down so fecal mass can form. Helps with constipation by helping to encourage transit again when transit is slowed down and come to a stop. Papers like this one show that psyllium is an amazing ingredient and product for treatment and use for treatment and help with constipation. Psyllium has great research in the scientific literature showing that it can help those people who suffer from irritable bowel syndrome. Great clinical data on that. Hugely important here, psyllium, excellent blood glucose and blood lipid maintaining properties. So a lot of times they think, well, balanced glucose, balanced cholesterol, these help to maintain healthy cholesterol and healthy lipid level, healthy glucose levels. And that's true. But Life Fiber, with its large amounts of psyllium husk fiber, also has that component to it. That's another reason we need to be taking this product every day for the rest of our lives. We also have prebiotic fibers like citrus pectin and inulin here in our Life Fiber. Now, let's define the term prebiotic and probiotic because we get confused on this. Probiotic, that's P-R-O, biotic. Probiotic refers to the good bacteria living in our gut. Probiotic is just another word for good bacteria. Now, prebiotic is the food that good bacteria or probiotic like to eat. So prebiotic ingredients are fiber or polyphenols. So citrus pectin and inulin, these are great prebiotics. So when we take it, we're encouraging growth of good bacteria. And when good bacteria are happy and growing and reproducing, bad bacteria levels, you remember, must go down. So citrus pectin is a great prebiotic, as shown in this paper. Live fiber also has many other herbs and botanicals that help with overall digestive health, gut health. We have small molecules in these herbs that help to promote growth of good bacteria that act as prebiotics. So live fiber, if you don't remember anything else, just remember live fiber is a good bacteria superfood. And it's a daily use product. Should be taken every day for the rest of our life. It's our gut health insurance product to ensure a healthy, happy microbiome. So what about weight management, right? Because everybody wants to talk about weight loss, right? What about weight loss? What about weight loss? And obesity, as we can see here from this picture, is a huge deal. Remember, my friends, weight loss is a side effect of bringing our metabolism back into balance. And one of the best ways to bring metabolism back into balance is maintaining and supporting a healthy gut. And if our gut is not healthy, getting a healthy gut is hugely important. It's paramount for weight management and overall health. So in our wellness programs, where we've taken thousands and thousands and thousands of people through these programs, what we have found is that for people who have a hard time losing weight, they seem to be eating okay, they seem to be exercising okay, their calories are good, they seem to be doing everything right, but they're not losing weight. They've looked at hormone levels like thyroid, and that's okay. In those instances, in the majority of these cases, what we find is that the reason why people aren't losing the weight is because gut health, the microbiome is out of balance. And when people then take steps to promote and rebuild a healthy microbiome or a healthy gut, weight loss now starts to happen. So in our wellness initiatives, we have a lot of people who take our cleanse system before taking our wellness programs. So with the new year coming along, this is a perfect time to promote and encourage and us ourselves take our Unicity Cleanse product to ensure that our gut health is properly balanced so that overall metabolic health will be balanced. And when overall metabolic health is balanced, weight loss is a natural, desirable side effect. So Cleanse is our wellness jumpstart. Helps to jumpstart things and support a healthy metabolism. And it does so by bringing balance back to the gut. Now, as I show from this picture here, slacklining, gut health can be precarious. It's hard to maintain a healthy gut because it turns over every 3 to 4 days. That's why our Unicity Cleanse product is an imperative supplement to help support and promote a healthy gut. And I hope that I've shown you today that when our gut is healthy, overall metabolic health is healthy. Helps with our immune system, cholesterol control, glucose control, cognitive health, sport performance, maintaining healthy inflammatory status in the body, and many, many, many other facets. So this is a product that you can see and feel. There's no doubt when you use this product that it's working. It's a unique proprietary formula, unique to Unicity Science. You will not find another system like this on the planet. And it represents blue ocean innovation, the epitome of what we do here at Unicity Science, placing in your hands products that give you power, that help to change the world, both from a human metabolic health standpoint and many other standpoints. Our products change the world. Cleanse is a product you would expect from Unicity, which is the world leader in the science of metabolic health. We are intent on giving you power. So my friends, thank you so much for listening to me today. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that you've taken a few notes. You can re-listen to this again and understand the importance of having a good gut microbiome. When our gut is healthy and has levels of healthy bacteria, it changes everything. So we need to feed the second brain. We need to make sure our second brain is healthy, and there's no better product on the planet to do this than Unicity Cleanse. Thank you, my friends.